Rape cases showing no signs of subsiding. The story is gaining more attention nationally, even internationally. And now even Vice President Joe Biden is weighing in, calling the survivor a warrior. In an open letter sent to BuzzFeed, Biden said, quote, "You were failed by a culture on our college campuses where 1 in 5 women is sexually assaulted year after year after year. A culture that promotes passivity, that encourages young men and women on campuses to simply turn a blind eye." Turner is currently under protective custody at a California jail, serving his 6-month sentence. Let's bring in Stuart Taylor, Jr. He's an attorney and non-resident senior fellow at the Brookings Institution. Thanks for being here, Stuart. Appreciate it.
Nice
you co-wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post this week. You said the sentence for Brock Turner was too short. Now, some people think, but you said that the sentence was too short, but the system worked.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people think when a rapist gets only 6 months in jail, the system hasn't worked. But when we were talking during the commercial break, you said, hey, it wasn't a rape even.
Well, a couple of points. First, it was a very serious crime, and there's there's not much doubt it was a crime. It was a sexual assault. The instrument was fingers. Technically, as a matter of law in California, to be a rape, the instrument has to be a sex organ. So, not to quibble. I'd also quibble with the statistics, but to get to your point, here's why I think the system worked. On the whole, it would have worked a little better if you'd gotten a 2-year sentence, which is what I would have recommended. I think the victim called for 3 years. The police did a great job, collected the evidence, arrested the bad guys, the bad guy. The prosecutors did a great job. They put it through a jury convicted, and goes to the judge. Judge presided over the trial. Well, so you've got a whole lot of things that you don't get through the campus disciplinary systems, which are what a lot of activists want to substitute for the criminal justice system.
So that's what you mean by the system worked.
Yeah.
Like there was evidence and there was a charge and a sentencing and such.
And also, although 6 months was a light sentence in the sense of that's not a lot of time to be in jail, he also has hanging over him this sex registry thing, sex offender registries thing. For the rest of his life, everywhere he goes, he's carrying a brand. He'll probably never be able to go to college or no time soon. His life is pretty well ruined. Now the victim's life may be ruined too. I don't mean to,
equate the two, right?
Yeah, but in other words, those who say, oh, he's not really being punished, it seems to me, are missing the point.
Well, let's talk about something else, and that is the justice system as we have it. About a year ago, a similar rape trial took place in Nashville. It was a 19-year-old football star from Vanderbilt named Corey Beatty. He was found guilty of raping an unconscious woman last year. Unlike Brock Turner at Stanford, Corey Beatty received a sentence of 15 to 25 years in prison. Now you see the picture that differentiates between the two. A lot of African Americans out there think Brock Turner would have received a harsher punishment if he looked more like Corey Beatty. How do you respond to that?
It's a reasonable reaction, but sentences vary all over the place for all kinds of reasons. I'll give you another black football player who was convicted of a rape far more serious than the crime of which Turner was convicted. His name's Sam Ukwachu. He's at Baylor. He's one of the reasons Ken Starr got fired as president of Baylor. Right. He was convicted of a very serious rape. He got 6 months. He's black. So I don't think, I think we got a problem with the criminal justice system being pretty tough on blacks, but I don't think anybody's made a persuasive case that in this case, this guy got lighter treatment than he would have if he weren't a privileged white male.
The Attorney General of California, Kamala Harris, running for the Senate, she said recently that the concern I have is the victim's voice was not heard, was not respected, she was not given dignity in the process. Do you think there's too much politicization of this case?
Well, first, I think that's an odd word choice. Her voice was not heard. She spoke for 7,400 words in the courtroom in front of the judge. And she spoke very eloquently. Her voice was certainly heard. And the process, I think the Attorney General suggested there was something wrong with the process other than the sentence, but there wasn't anything wrong with the process other than the sentence. The sentence was too lenient, but I think there's a huge overreaction to that one fact, and people are trying to discredit the whole criminal justice system based on that one fact.
All right, Stuart Taylor, always great to have you. Thank you so much for your voice. Appreciate it.